Looks good, everybody. Are we live?
You're live.
Are we on? Can you hear us?
We have everyone here tonight.
Yeah.
Dad and Sam.
All the babies, except for Sam and Joey, of course. You all know where they're at.
Yeah, 4 young people make up one dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've come over to keep me company, so I'm not by myself all day.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all say hey to Joey. I know he's probably watching.
Hey,
Dad. Yeah, everybody's in my bedroom. This is our bedroom here. So we had to use Joey's computer, which is here in our bedroom. And I'm not used to a Mac computer. And I was already messing things up earlier when I just tried to turn the computer on. I said, why is Daddy's mouse backwards? It's when I go up, the arrow's going down, and then I go to the right and the arrow's going left. And so then I figured out the mouse is upside down because it's wireless.
Yeah, and it looks like, you
can't tell.
It doesn't have a clicker on either side, so you wouldn't be able to tell.
So it's, thank you, Will. It's not my fault. Completely my fault. Let's see who we have on tonight. Farm Boy 59 and Laura is on. That's Joey's sister at Welch Farms. Hopes everyone is doing well. Terry Hayes. This 1904 farm says hello, everyone. John Briggs is on. Good evening, guys. And Real Fan says, so does this make it the T West Monday Night Live? Yes, it's T West tonight.
T-Wet.
Or
T-Wet.
T-Wet. No S either.
Yeah.
At this point, the E is silent.
T-wee.
You know how if the word ends in E, most of the time it's silent.
Yeah.
So it's just...
I
don't even know what it is now.
Joey Neal's on, and Paul Ford says, good evening, hope all is well, and Joey and Sammy's absence. It is. I'm probably overly tired today because I had to drop them off at 2 a.m. and I came back and tried to get a little bit of sleep, but it's hard for you to get up and drive somewhere and come back and go to sleep. So I'll probably go to bed early tonight. William May is on. Timbo says howdy neighbor. Tim Wade is on, says good evening. And Tim Wade, is this our Tim Wade from church? Tim, let me know. Pork Chop 4011 is on. Howdy from Mike and Darlene's Carney Hill Farms. Tim says that's right. Hey Tim, we got John on here too, John Briggs. We're just starting to get all of our church people on here. Johnny Edgerton says good evening. And James Kelly says good evening from Colorado. And did I miss anybody? Oh, I did say Pork Chop 4011 because I like their name. Pork Chop. And I got my coffee here. I just made it so it's kind of hot. So Will, I know you probably seen Will's video of his Mako job, and it turned out, I think, better than any of us expected.
The paint job or the video?
No, the paint job.
Okay.
The video was as good as I expected, of course, from Will. He does excellent at that stuff too. But so yeah, tell him a little bit about that video or what, how much it took off you doing that work yourself.
Okay. So yeah, in the video, I forgot to mention how much it actually costs to get it painted at Mako. And so when I went there, I got an estimate and I was all happy, ready to go. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get it painted. And I get there and I'm talking to a nice man, Michael, as I keep mentioning, because, I really want to get his name and his location out there because he did such a fantastic job and was very nice to me. And he told me, I told him what I wanted to have done. I was like, yeah, I want to get this thing covered. I just want a simple paint job. And then he says, well, for us to do this whole job, it's going to be about probably upper mid 2000 range, 2,600. And it didn't show on my face, but I was crushed inside. I was like, man, because my budget was, $950 to $1,000, maybe even $1,100. And so I just was like, man, But we got to talking and everything. But he came up about it and said, well, if that's not in your budget, if you do some of the work yourself, then we can cut it down by the thousands. And so he told me, if you take some sandpaper, 320, 280 grit, sand it down, feather out the edges of where the existing clear is versus where it's all come off, get it nice and smooth, they can spray it for me. And I'd be looking from $700 to $900. And so that's what I did. And I took a few months, evenings out of the week, some Saturdays, and I sanded it down with a little orbital sander I had. And, it wasn't hard at all. It got dirty. I learned not to wear white or tan when I did it because it turned out, slightly pink after.
Yeah.
But,
It wasn't slightly.
but I sanded it, and about the sanding, probably it wasn't that hard. The Dakota's not a big truck. It doesn't have hard angles on it. But it is, late 90s, early 2000s model. So that's when all the trucks started getting bubbly.
Mhm.
And that was the end of the square bodies. And so I would say probably around where the curves start to come over and start getting real hard is where it was hardest to sand. And but other than that, it was pretty fine, and it was easy to feather out because it'd just been
That
so
looks
long
good.
coming off. But then I took it to Mako and they painted it for me, and it looks fantastic.
Mhm.
And I did not do the front bumper. I didn't have them paint that because in my mind I wanted to
I don't know what that is.
I wanted to change the bumper to a SLT bumper, which is just gray. But I decided to not to because after looking at the vehicle and seeing how shiny and great it looks, I decided I wanted the front bumper to be nice and shiny red, just like the rest of the truck. So I have a front bumper coming, and I'm going to send it to Mako, and they're going to paint it flame red for me. And as you guys heard in the video, I have some more plans of the truck, like the bed liner and stuff like that. And I'll probably make some videos about that too.
Johnny wants to know, is the paint job a base coat, clear coat?
Single stage.
It is a single stage, and
Urethane, wasn't it? Single stage urethane.
yeah, single stage urethane. Ellie was there when I took it. So, single stage urethane. Mako has, I think, 6 different levels of paint you can put on your vehicle. I got the number 2. So there's the lowest and number 2. And
Yeah, I don't know if it's showing up on the screen or not.
I don't know.
are y'all seeing weird stuff come up on the screen?
Like balloons.
Like balloons?
And a thumbs up.
And a giant thumbs up. I don't know.
That was weird.
It's probably this Mac.
I haven't seen that before.
But anyway, it is a single stage urethane, number 2 on their grades. The base
They see
coat
it too.
was the base coat was about $700, and then the second grade was about $800. It was $100 more, so that put me at $950. But
And John Briggs says he's seen it at the Bible study on Saturday. And
oh yeah,
yeah, he said it looks really good.
Thank you, John.
You had a second getting crushed moment the day we took it to
Who's doing?
the day we took it to get
I
painted.
wonder if that's Dad.
I don't know.
It might be.
And that lady said they weren't taking in any more work, and you thought you were done for.
Yeah,
The day we went up there and to drop it off.
Yeah, when we took it to Mako, me and Ellie were waiting, and we heard some lady tell another man that they're not taking any cars until next week. And me and Ellie looked at each other. We were like that,
Mhm.
because we heard what she said.
I
But
guess you were already on the books. since
Yeah,
you went
he
in
was
there.
probably scheduled.
yeah, but anywho, that's Graham, North Carolina, Mako. If you're in the area, you guys, if you have a car you want to be painted, and if it's not, it won't break the bank. To take it there, and the main manager there, his name is Michael. And just if you're around Graham, take it there.
All right, let's see. Let me catch up some
Yeah,
comments.
talk too much.
It's okay, Will. Pat Doak is on. It says mom and dad off on their trip. I don't know if he means dad and Sam, or if it's Pat and him and his wife on their trip. But Butterfly Farms is on. It says good evening. Thanks for having the live tonight. And did everyone arrive home from the missions group or arrive okay from the? Yes, they did. They're all in Dominican right now. They checked into a hotel. They went to the church today, so everyone made it safely. And the Dominican traffic, they made it through that safely too. So, are y'all leaving now?
Yeah, we're about to leave.
All right. Bye. Thank
Bye.
y'all for
Bye.
staying.
You're welcome.
We just wanted Joey to be able to see all of the kids. Let's see. Hey Janice. Janice is on. And Stan's made it on. Says city water main break. Ugh. Been without water for 8+ hours and still waiting.
Man.
Oh, Stan, I hope you have access to some bottled water.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some just because you need some water.
Well, you know how Michigan is with water.
He's not in Michigan. He's in Florida right now.
Well, he took Michigan with him.
Yeah, maybe. Stan says it looks like Will got Joey's curls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did.
He definitely did. He
You
looks
know,
exactly like him.
Yeah, my parents tell me, when Dad was my age, right now, his hair wasn't even like that.
Yeah, I don't know who's what. You guys are just gonna have to see some background stuff. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Jamie Lawson says, "Good looking truck. Stick with Mopar. You can't go wrong."
Yep.
My first car was a '67 Plymouth Belvedere GTX 440 Magnum.
That's crazy.
Does that mean something special to you?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Dad. Joey is texting me, and he is watching, so everybody can say hey to Joey. He's watching. The internet there, I don't know. He's got a Verizon package for out of country, but he's watching. So, hey Joey, we miss you. We love you.
Ask him why we get special effects for some reason.
I don't know. Yeah, he don't know. I mean, he didn't say. He just said it wasn't him. Martin Farm is on. Hey, Martin Farm. Butterfly Farm says good evening. Thank you all for having the live tonight, which I might have already read that one. Cajun Homestead is on, and everyone's saying hey Joey. God bless you all. And let's see, Joey wanted me to tell you all that he has the official Super A Garden Start of 2024 coming out Wednesday. So that will come out Wednesday. So some Super A action. Sammy really had a great time today. Was his first flight. So I wanted to try to see if I could show you this picture of him. I don't know. Where's the camera? Is it up at top?
Yeah.
So
do it like that.
Okay. So if you all can see that picture of Sam, those are his American Airlines pilots today that went from Miami to Dominican. So he was able to get up there and get chatty and talk to them. So I know that just made his year because Samuel loves planes, flying, and he's never been on a plane yet. So I'm so excited he got to go. And he's, 15 and he's bigger than all of us pretty much. So it was time for him to be able to go and do some work with the men. I think he can hold his own and be able to work just as hard as they can. So I'm glad he finally got to go on a trip.
Yeah.
I know Joey went to Alaska a few years ago, and I know Sam wanted to go on that trip, but
I wanted to go on that.
I mean, I think he was like 12 at that time, and he was just still too young to go. Let's see. Stan says, I keep at least 10 gallons of fresh water as backup. Stuff happens, plus cases of drinking water. So good. I'm glad you've got some water handy then. And Joey says, hey guys, thanks for coming out tonight. And Chet Hodges is on. Says, good looking truck wheel. Glad Joey and Sam made it safely. And Pat says that they watched your video on the Dakota and it looked really nice, and he loves our channel. And yeah, so I'm really glad I got Will here with me. He's my firstborn. As you could tell, he really doesn't look like me. He looks exactly like his dad. And everyone's always reminded us of that. And then it was even worse when he was little because he had very blonde hair, really blonde hair. And so you see the color of my hair, and I'd be carrying him around and have this green-eyed blonde hair baby. And, you know, I'm sure everyone thought I was his nanny.
Yeah. Or she kidnapped me.
Yeah, or that I kidnapped him.
It's funny, you know, people say I look like dad and everything. And people that know dad, you know me. But sometimes I used to work around Caswell County with Gary Huffines doing tobacco. And people come and go to see Gary because they're just friends and everything. And dad has worked with Gary pretty much all his life and stuff. So people would come up to the shop where I was working, and they'd look at me and they'd go, "You Joey's son, ain't you?" I never met him before in my life. I've never seen him before, but they know my dad just by looking at me. So I know good and well, you know, when people say I look like dad, I just have to believe them.
Yeah. And then we've had the opposite problem with Joey and Elliot, because Elliot looks like me, and you know, Joey has taken him places, and people don't think that Elliot is his son because Elliot, and of course when he was littler and he had his long brown hair and he was so tan, and so yeah, he definitely didn't. So we kind of switched that.
And then, you know, me and Ellie being brothers, full-blooded brothers, that we would go to school, and I'm 3 years older, so I went to school before Ellie. So like, for example, you know, I would go to high school 3 years before Ellie got there. And then when Ellie showed up, and they'd see us talking or hanging out and everything, and then it came up that we're brothers, and they're like, "Y'all are brothers?" I'm like, "Yeah, we got the same mom and dad." You know?
Yeah, they would ask, "You're full brothers? You got the same mom and dad?"
Right.
So yeah, so they've got that a lot.
But now that we've gotten older, I don't know. Maybe it's because we're the same height and same size ish. We get mistaken for twins now, which is weird. Because
I don't see that.
I know.
I don't see that.
It's like, and it's happened at work. Me and Ellie work at the same place, and it's a big plant that, you know, you walk around and you have to do a bunch of stuff, and people can figure out we're brothers, but then there's also people that think we're twins. And then on the flip side, there's also people that are like, "Wait, y'all are brothers."
Right.
So we get it all. It's very strange how it works.
Yeah. I guess it's just some people is, you know, just how they see you. Joey says if they look like you, they act like you.
It's true.
He's always said that because he spoiled Elliot so bad when he was little that Elliot was no good for anyone but Joey. And so when everybody would complain about Elliot's behavior, or, you know, he just was all about his dad and that was it, then he always said, "Oh, well, if they look like you, they act like you." And that's not true. We know that's not true. Only Joey says that. Farmboy 59, Joey, I seen the video of Will speaking at your church, and now I know where he got it from. And Double Portion Farm says, "Good evening. Keep the 140 warmed up for Joey." And let's see. Stan says, "Both of the older boys are gearheads. Maybe Sammy will become one as well." I don't know. Sam took the wheel weights, and I don't know. I'm sure Joey already talked about it, or it's on a video that's coming up. But Sam really enjoyed wire brushing some wheel weights this week and repainting them. And so he seemed to really enjoy that. And Sam does tend to more enjoy welding. And so I think he's going to be taking a PCC class, which is it Piedmont Community College? This Piedmont Community College classes that you can take in high school here. And I think he's going to be taking taking welding during a high school class schedule. So we'll see how he likes that. But he did enjoy the wire brushing of stuff. So I don't know. He doesn't seem too much as into cars as he does airplanes. But, again, he's quite a bit younger than everybody else. So, at that age, nobody really knows what they want to do later on. Let's see. Oh, William Mesa, 77 watching and only 26 likes.
Yeah, we gotta get those numbers up.
Well,
Come on, guys.
I don't know. Maybe not, because we keep getting these pop-up things. And so I was just wondering, like, if it is, if you've got a certain phone that you're commenting on, if it gives you those background things.
I thought
because we're doing a Mac computer tonight. I don't know.
When I was talking, I was moving my hands, and it came up, and I thought maybe it seen my thumb do this, and did it by itself.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Let's see. Bama Tractor says, Barry, hello, y'all. The effects are cool. Well, I'm glad Bama appreciates it. Yeah, and then there was a bunch of balloons just coming up. So,
And fireworks.
Yeah, fireworks. So, I guess those are definitely what I've seen on Apple products before. So I think because we're on an Apple computer, somehow those screens are getting through. Let's see. And it's harder for me to read comments on this computer too. Jeffrey Strange is on. Hey, Jeffrey. Hey, y'all, different scene here. Been out of the loop for a minute. Where's Joey?
Check them out.
Yeah. We hijacked his live tonight, Jeffrey. No, Joey and Sam are actually in the Dominican Republic right now. They're on a mission trip to help build a church. They may be doing the foundation, I think.
Yeah, they're doing lots of cement work.
Okay, cement work. So Joey and some of the guys from church, Preacher, and two of Preacher's sons, and some other guys. I don't know how many there are. Maybe 7, 8. I don't know the count, but they're all going to be able to pitch in and get a lot done this week for that pastor. Steve Sidler is the missionary. He is in the Dominican Republic for, I think, something like 25 years. He's been there a long time. And hopefully that's right. I'm not thinking about another one, but he has the church there, and the guys are going to help get a lot of work done in a short amount of time because he needs that. He needs help there. And it is very much third world country. Joey says it's a pretty big town with a lot of traffic, but there was one stoplight, and everyone it's kind of like Mad Max to me, is everyone drives just however you want to. Like, you just always around each other, people honking. So I couldn't deal with that. I'd have to just work somewhere where I could walk everywhere. But, I guess just like anything, if they've grown up in it, they can handle it better. And me and Will are in my bedroom tonight because we've got the Mac computer in here, and I had to use that for the live. I can't use it for my phone. Haggy Farm is on. I hope Joey is okay. Good to see you are all on tonight. So Haggy, I just explained all that about him being on a mission trip. You can, and if anybody's just now coming on, you can watch the video over later, and I'll explain everything. Tim Azell is on, checking in for Southwest Georgia. Hello, Tim. Janice says, how do you like your fanny pack, Joey? And I have to say, it's a pretty stylish fanny pack. It's one it's like a hip fanny pack instead of the whole around the waist. It just goes onto one. So, and it worked out good because he put all the stuff in there last night that he wanted to get in there to be able to carry what he needs to it not be stolen in a hotel room while he's gone during the day. And it did hold everything good. So, they should have everything they need in the fanny pack. Let's see. Jerry Deaver's on. Says, what Joey planning first in 2024? I'll be planting potatoes tomorrow, the beginning of 2024 garden season. So Joey says potatoes, but I thought he already planted garlic. Oh, I guess that was in 2023? Okay. So yeah, potatoes is what he's going to plant, which is usually what we always plant first. Sometimes we'll get broccoli in there before potatoes, just because broccoli is a good cold weather plant along with cabbage, which I don't like cabbage, and I don't. I mean, I don't can it either or make kraut from it. So he has held off making or growing cabbage just because a lot of it goes to waste. Mark Moore says, good evening, y'all, from Paul's Farm. Good evening, Mark. And let me see. Stan says, the high school here in Southwest Florida offers college classes as well. You can have a 2-year degree and a high school diploma same day. So yeah, that's how our school does as well. You can get an associate's degree in welding, or some people get the medical assistant, I think, CMA, certified medical assistant. So yeah, they can graduate high school with an associate's degree, and then also they could also do their prerequisites at PCC, so that way they don't have to pay for 2 of the 4-year school if they are going to get a bachelor's degree. So I think it's really good, and I think a lot of kids don't take advantage of that. But we of course encourage our kids to do that if it's something they're interested in. But if they're not, I don't want them hating a class for a whole semester. Because like Elliot hated every class of every semester. Elliot was not a school person. He can't be confined. That's Elliot, and we know. Let's see. Tim says Will looks like his daddy. Yeah, and Tim, if you're just getting on, you'll have to rewatch the video because we discussed all that too. How everyone thinks Will is his dad, part 2. And he really is. I mean, I think he is. And I say G Wayne, but I know that's not right. I think it's Gurney.
Gwen.
No, it's not Gwen. Gurney's on, says, press the like button, folks. Jerry says, collard season is over. Time to get busy for 2024. And Joey says, that's what Pat does in West Virginia. Yeah, Pat. Yeah. Our friend Pat and Maria, who live in West Virginia, their channel is Around the Shop. They, Pat teaches forestry and something else, like how to work on chainsaws, maybe, and just how to work on a lot of stuff. He's just very knowledgeable, but I'm sure there's like 2 or 3 classes he teaches, but I know forestry is one of them. Bart Sexton is on. Hey, you two from Goldsboro. And John wants to know how many miles are on your Challenger, Will?
21,000. About 21,000 on the Challenger right now. I do a lot of highway driving with it. So when me and Megan go to Wilmington to see her mom, I drive that. So I don't drive it a lot, but when I do, I rack up the miles on it in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But
and then plus he don't want his Challenger door dinged at work. So yeah, he always drives his Dakota, but now you don't want that door dinged either. So you're just gonna have to you're gonna have to park as far away as possible.
Right. And also about the Challenger video, I know it's not like a lot of new car review videos where they go through every little detail of the car and everything. I just try to, when I think of review videos, I want to give what people want to know about the vehicle. A lot of times when people want to know about a product, they want to know the big things about it and what it's actually going to do. Some people like every little detail about it, but whenever me and Dad have done review videos, it's always been, what are you going to see the most out of that either product or vehicle or whatever. So my Challenger review video was pretty kind of laid back compared to, the plethora of other car review channels and videos and stuff like that. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. And I know it's a lot more, you're interested in, our video and seeing how we talk about it rather than you're watching it to know exactly about the vehicle and stuff. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, Gurney says he enjoyed your reviews.
Yeah.
Double Portion wants to know, do we ever do any canning videos from your garden hauls. Yes, we do. I did one canning video for tomatoes, and we did some green beans. But the big thing is that we show you what we do. It's not a how-to video because so many people have so many different specifications that they like to be strict on. Whereas we may not be as strict on a certain process of the canning, and so we just show it as this is how we can. And honestly, like I actually water bath my tomatoes. I don't can them. And so far I've never had a jar that's been bad. I've had a couple that didn't seal off, but none that have gone bad. And I've had tomatoes and green beans for several years old. And so we do put those two items up, especially green beans. I've canned okra. And corn. I don't like canning corn because it gets pretty mushy. I'd rather freeze it. But I haven't done a video on canning okra. And okra, it does get a little slimy. I know some people gave me some helpful tips on a previous live of how to keep that from getting so slimy. All I do is when I pour it into a pan to reheat it, I add a little bit of water and I boil it down to where almost all the water is gone, and that cuts out some of the sliminess for those who don't, won't eat it because of that.
Remember, Dad used to can deer meat?
Yes. Yes.
It was not good.
I think he may have only done that one time because that's all it took for me.
Right.
One time.
The meat, I say it was not good. What I mean is it didn't smell good when it was canned.
No, it smelled awful. Awful.
And I remember as a kid, we used to go to bed at 9 o'clock. And so, canning took a long time. So it would be like into the night, be like 11 or 12, still stinking there. And you still hear the cans rattling.
And that stink took forever to go away.
I know.
Like I'd have to open windows, trying to get it to air out. It felt like it got in my clothes. I mean, it just was awful.
Yeah, but it was still good meat.
Yeah, but we ended up feeding Rudy some of it.
Yeah,
that was getting.
By the time we fed it to Rudy,
it was getting old. Yeah, it was getting a little too old. So we used it as some dog food. Like added in with his dog food, and he of course loved it. Hey Roger, Roger's on.
Roger. And also, I want to say to you guys about Roger. When we rebuilt my engine we took the engine to Rogers and rebuilt it there, and he helped out a whole bunch there too. It's like Roger, he's been working on stuff all his life, so he was like our encyclopedia to rebuilding the engine between torque specs and clearances and stuff like that, and lube and stuff here and there. But Roger did help out a whole bunch rebuilding that engine, so we want to say thank you to Roger. And you guys know he's helped on Sam's tractor, he's helped on Dad's tractor, and so he's very knowledgeable, and we really appreciate his help on all of our equipment.
Yeah, he's helped on a lot, and Joey can always call him up and say, hey, this is what I got, what do you think?
Dad's always like, what do you think about this?
Let's see. Mark Moore says good money in forestry. Just had some of my trees looked at for forestry plan. $250 for 30 minutes.
Man.
Yeah, because whenever you've got those skills, no one else can really do it unless you want to risk your life. Larry Terrell's on. Says checking in from Reedsville. Nice Challenger too.
Thanks, Larry.
And Stan asks Roger if Janice is keeping him out of mischief. He hopes so, but I doubt it. John says, I don't blame you about the door dings. I like how you present your videos. Yeah, and the door dings, I was driving Joey's red truck in like 2015. It wasn't we just had it. And I guess the wind caught somebody's door beside me in our parking lot at work, and it left a huge dent in the door. And or no, it wasn't. I could tell it was someone's side view mirror hit, because it wasn't a big dent,
Mhm.
long dent. It was just like you could tell it perfectly lined up with a rear view or a side mirror. But, how can you prove that? And what are you going to do? Because you just can't do anything about it. Let's see. Yeah, Paul says some things are best done outside.
Right. Where is he? Martin Farms LC. He asked, "Does Will have any farming interests like Dad?" And yes, I do. I really enjoy farming with Dad growing up and everything, and especially now with the YouTube channel that we've made over the years. I've definitely been out there way more now, and because now I have to film him talking about it to you guys, so obviously I hear about it. And I have interest in the tractors and plowing and stuff, and my tractor that I want to have one day is a Farmall Super C, like what's his name?
I have no idea.
Dad knows who I'm talking about. I wanted to steal his Super C when we went up to visit him.
Alvis.
Yeah, Alvis. He has
Even though Daddy spelled it all is.
Yeah. Yeah, he has a wonderful Super C, and I don't know what it is about it. I guess it being smaller than most tricycle tractors are, and the fact that the engine and the transmission pulls exactly from a Super A is one of my favorite tractors to have. And also the rear, the hydraulic unit on the back. Not only can it go up and down, but it can turn side to side like that. And when I seen Alvis do that to the tractor, I was
You were
blown
hooked.
away, because that. I mean, why don't they have that on the 140s and the A's and stuff like that? That one tractor has that type of capability, and I just really loved it, and so I hope to have one of those one day, and I would love to start, gardening myself once I have some land and stuff like that. And but we'll see how that goes.
And then Daddy says, whatever, ret wag.
He didn't even spell it
I
right.
know. He can't even get wet wag right. Let's see. Danny Henley's on. Hey, y'all, from Oxford. And Stan says, my oldest stepdaughter got into a parking lot fight when someone dinged her car and got ignorant about it. Cops had to break it up. She takes no prisoners, obviously, but Stan, I mean, you got to be careful doing that nowadays, because people have a gun and they just they let their temper get the best of them, and it is over, something materialistic. But I do get it, somebody who would ding your car and say, oh, I didn't do that. I didn't, that would kind of get my blood pressure up, but you just try to handle people the best you can. Brian Farm Boy 59 says, does anyone know or have any advice on Honey Select Golden Corn for planting? I'm torn on planting Silver Queen or the Honey Select. And Daddy says Silver Queen.
Yeah, do Silver Queen.
But Roger says, don't plant the Honey Select. You'll never plant Silver Queen again. Honey Select is really good. Okay, so Roger, one for Honey Select, one for Silver Queen.
Just do half and half.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll create a mutant corn.
Yeah,
because they'll cross pollinate.
Well, Double Portion Farm says Ambrosia is our corn of choice, and I haven't had that. Joey Neal says, I grew up running a 200 Farmall, which is a newer version.
Yeah. I've seen those before, the 200s. I like those pretty good too, but Super C sounds cooler.
You want something named Super with the name Super in it, is what it is. Bart says Joey's a long way away.
And the words change by the time they
Bart, that's good. That's good. He'll agree with you that it's lost in translation. And Mark Morris is saying check out or check with Big Apple Farm Supply. Let me make sure I didn't miss any comments. And Will, if you see comments that you want to answer, you just let me know because I may miss some. Will's not used to doing the live with me, and we got him here on the screen.
Well, I eagle eye the comments, from home.
Oh yeah. That's speaking of. Is there anything you would like to say, Fast Fingers?
I have to apologize. So for you guys that were
because
week,
it was you feeling bad.
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
So last week I was at home watching the live, and they were talking about how Dad, they were talking about the worm rocket, and every time Dad said worm rocket, he would say it with 2 W's, worm rocket. And that's he says wet rag wrong sometimes. He has trouble with R's and W's and switching them. And I put in about having the merchandise say spelled worm rocket like Dad says it, and I thought it was just gonna get a funny laugh, right? Haha, okay, it's over. But then it went on for like a whole 5 minutes after that.
Right.
So then I felt bad.
Took off.
I was like, oh no, I shouldn't have said that.
It was a hot topic.
So then I was like, I gotta put a stop to this. This is my mess. I gotta clean it up. And so anytime somebody put worm rocket in the comments, I shot it down. So that's why some of the and I didn't know you guys could see the comments dying on the chat in full view.
Yeah, because we do have Will listed as a what do you call it?
A
moderator. So if anytime I'm not able to catch stuff, he can.
Right.
That way because there's been very, very few times that I've ever had to delete anything, and it's only really because of language, not like per se, like it being a robot or what do you call it, just a bot. But so because most time I let you guys say whatever you want to say, and Joey's good-hearted about it, and he can take a joke and he can take some picking on, and who better to pick on him than of course his family, and we point out stuff.
Yeah, but it was like, I can pick on him, but you can't.
Right. Yeah. And that's how they are with y'all brothers too. Don't talk about my brother like that. And then y'all have a big fight over something stupid.
Yeah. So I apologize to any of you guys that I deleted your comment after you said worm rocket.
Yes, because we want you to know that it's not that serious. Let's see. Paul says I'm going to do some Jimmy Red here this year. Ordered some seeds a few weeks ago, which we have Jimmy Red, and I'm sure we'll do some more. We also made Jimmy Red cornbread, I think. We ground some, and some Hopi corn. Danny says, yes, on ambrosia corn. It's really sweet and delicious. And I like the sweet corns. I really do. I've had some corn that I feel like if they're not sweet, they have no taste to them. And so, I've just associated that corn is good if it's sweet, but it also has to be the right texture too, because sometimes it's a little chewy, and I realize that's probably from just not picking it in time. Stan says, be careful about doing too good on the live. It may become your job. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, in TV shows when one of the actors stop playing a character, so they get a different one that looks kind of like the original.
Yeah.
That's what I am.
Well, and we also call stuff like that great value brand stuff when things are not like exactly like what you're used to, and you like if you buy off brand, we call it great value brand because that's Walmart's brand. And so Will's trying to say he's the great value brand of Joey,
right? But
he's not. He's just as good at him, and he learned a lot from him. So it takes a good kid to learn from a good dad, so I'm proud of him. And yes, the whole job thing, I think I started reading Joey's comments just to help him one time. And then he's like, you got to do this every week. I can't go back, so that's why I am on every live now, is because I help just read him comments.
Because it used to be just him.
Yeah. And there's a giant thumbs up on my forehead again. Let's see. Haggy Farm says, Joey, I thought my wife and son picked on me about how I talked, but I don't feel so bad now. Yeah, that's right. And Paul says, I'm looking forward to doing some cornbread with the Jimmy Red. Also going to do some Silver Queen. Don't really have enough space to do much more without risk cross-pollination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we did some cornbread with the Jimmy Red, and it was real pretty. And the Hopi was real pretty too. Just don't wet it like to make masa, because then it looks terrible. James Kelly says, is Will gonna grow a beard now too?
I wish I could.
He'll get there.
I'll get there.
And John Briggs says, are y'all doing a live next week? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. Are we?
I mean,
When's
it would be
Or
me and Will
Tuesday?
again, because they get back like at midnight on Tuesday.
That's fine.
Probably like 1 a.m.
Yeah, we
Tuesday.
can do a live. Let's do a live, and we'll go all the way until Dad gets home, from 8 to midnight.
No, y'all will see me right back there on that bed, because that's just too much.
Oh, Dad said he's hoping to try it from Miami.
Okay. Yeah, because around the time of, I think when they're going to be traveling, they should be at the Miami airport. And if he can, he'll try to do a live from there, like him and Sammy maybe. So if that's not working out, I don't know, because I can't just have Will here waiting. Will doesn't live with us anymore. So we'll see how it goes. But we hope for somebody to be live, either Joey or us again.
Mm-hmm.
Mark says, how far apart on corn to prevent cross-pollination? Yeah, like I think, isn't it supposed to be like acres apart?
I think so.
Roger, or Joey.
Calling Roger and Joey.
How far does corn have to be apart to prevent cross-pollination? I feel like I've heard it before, but I don't remember. Jeffrey says, yay for Silver Queen. Love it with fresh, hot green cayenne peppers. Pat says, when I started watching your videos, you hardly said a word. Now you are the star of the show. Love it.
Me?
Is he talking about me? No, I'm not the star.
Who?
It's got to be Will. That fellow we met at the NC Farm Show said 20 foot. Okay, so 20 foot? That's the
That
answer.
still seems close. Cause
It does. On a windy day, 20 feet's nothing. But what do I know?
yeah,
I don't
we
play.
know.
I don't
hold
play
a camera,
corn.
bro.
Right. He holds a camera. I sit here on lives and read your comments.
Right.
We're the wrong people to ask. Let's see. No, Stan, I don't know about that. Stan says, do a joint live like the networks do it.
Oh, no.
I mean, we're going to be doing live from Caswell and Miami-Dade County, or whatever the county is there. Yeah, me too, Mark. Mark says 20 feet. I thought it'd have to be farther. That's what I feel like. But Joey said he was a seed corn raiser. But I don't know. But yeah, I remember who you're talking about, Joey, but I don't remember what he said. Bart says Danny on Deep South said miles. The wind will carry it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is like you needed like at least, I would think 5 acres in between the fields. That's just my guesstimation. Will, you did an excellent job on explaining his red truck and what they have done to upgrade. Take care. That's from Robert Marino. Double Portion Farm says, don't buy that guy's seed corn.
Right. He's only got it 20 feet apart.
This is some pure corn right here. And Gurney says, I think it's hundreds of feet. And John says, be looking forward to seeing it, Joey. Maybe you can get a shot of everyone that's on the mission, like a screenshot. And that reminds me, Joey, try to get a group photo of you and all the guys, because Samuel's school, we got with his principal about, hey, he's going to be out of school for 6 days. Is that going to be an issue? And, this is, of course, a while back. And his principal is very supportive of it. And he likes for students to go on these kind of things and to be workers. And so he wants pictures for the yearbook. the yearbook for the high school. So be sure to take like a group picture of all of y'all, maybe with your shirts on. Your all the guys have on a New Life shirt from the church, and on the back it says missions. Joey showed it last week on the live, and so that way you can clearly tell they're a group from the same area. So that would be good for that would be good for the yearbook, you know, and to have our pastor in the yearbook, you know. Let's see. Paul says, I've heard you can also stagger the planting times between varieties so they aren't pollinating at the same time. I'm all for that too, just because I don't want to try to harvest all that corn at once. I say smaller batches for us, for Jtwes, because we're not a farm. We're a smaller homestead type with, like, I say we have extra large gardens, you know, but I wouldn't say we're a farm, because then we could have plenty of time to harvest and process corn, even different types of corn, as long as you don't have them pollinating at the same time. So thank you, Paul, for that idea. Oh, and Gurney says the same thing. Stagger planting 2 to 3 weeks, and they won't pollinate at the same time. Yeah, I'm for that too. And I've even asked Joey that, not even about pollination, but about just the processing it and the picking. And then it feels like it's all in at one time and you got to hurry up and get it all done. And so I just feel like I would like for it to be, you know, maybe staggered a little bit. Allison's on. Hey, Allison. Says, hey, sorry we're late. We just got home. That's fine. No, thank you for being on. Yes, it is. Don't you talk to Allison like that. And Brian says, thanks for all the info on corn types. And Bart says, if you can separate time of planting so the 2 corns don't pollinate, he says pollute, but I know he means pollinate at the same time. So yeah, so that's a common thing. So I think that's good. I think that's a good idea. And Bowers Brothers Farms is on, which is Nikki. That's Allison's husband. He says, hello, Jones family. Joey, you look much younger tonight. Yeah, Will's like, yeah, I know. And Stan says, my excuse is better than Allison's, huh? Yes, Allison, Stan had a water main break, and things are a little bit crazy around there, but he does have water. He's got plenty, like some gallons of water put up and plenty of water bottles, so he's good. He's doing good with that. All right. Well, y'all got any questions for Will while we have Will on? Because I know he doesn't, you could see him on a video or two, but he's not, you know, always on. And I know y'all have talked to him about cars and all, but is there anything else you'd like to talk to him about? I know him and Megan are still...
We're still married.
Still in the honeymoon stage. They are married September 30th, right? So it's been a few months. So they're easing on in their little their schedules and their lives and all kinds of stuff. What is it?
My dad.
I do. Did you wash my truck?
No.
Yeah, Joey's want to know if we washed his truck.
Not yet.
Not yet, and I think it's going to rain tomorrow, so I don't think we can wash it tomorrow either. Maybe Thursday or Friday, but we'll see. Jeffrey Strange says, good night, y'all. Hey, Joey. Hope you enjoy your trip in the DR. Good night, Jeffrey. And yeah, he hasn't even mentioned married life. Yeah. Come on, Will. Let me get Megan in here. Where's Megan?
I still got it on. Still got my ring on. Megan was in here earlier.
I know.
She was hanging out.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, poor Megan. She's probably like, when is this live going to be over so I can go home?
Right.
Yeah, her and Will were so sweet to me today. They came over and brought pizza, and I had to work a little bit late tonight. I had a meeting scheduled late, and so they took care of dinner for me. And then Ellie and Kaylee came over too, so I had a full house, and I think they were just worried about me being at home because I work from home, so I'm home all day in the office by myself, and then all night. So I thought that was sweet. Thank you, boys, for doing that. John Briggs wants to know, how about kids?
We don't have any yet.
We know. We just wanted to ask about them.
That's a question for me.
I know, I'm just kidding. They'll get there eventually. Stan says, I bet the water where Joey and Sam are may well be questionable. Drink bottled water as often as possible. And they are, Stan. They're only drinking bottled water. They did eat at a KFC tonight, and Joey said it was the best KFC he's had since 1985. So I don't know what that means because I don't eat at KFC or to know what would be better or worse. So he seemed to enjoy that.
Right. And then he said he looked at the ingredients to a ketchup packet and that it had like seven ingredients on it when ours has like 17.
Jamie says, any upgrades to the Challenger wheel, headers or something? No, I can answer that. He's married now. He's got to save up for a house.
I had an answer for that.
Oh, is it no? Not you got to save up for a house?
I had ideas.
Okay.
I thought about putting either a shaker hood kit on it where you change the intake to a shaker hood and then you can put a shaker hood on top of it already painted like your car. Or I was thinking like maybe I'll put a dual snorkel hood on it from Mopar. I like those two ideas just because I like the way they look. And what are you cheesing about?
I'm sorry. A lot of times if I'm cracking up, it's because I can read the comments ahead. And so while your dad are finishing, I may be seeing some things going on in the comments. And so we have Ashley Boyd is on. Says, maybe I can borrow Joey's truck while he's away. I'll take it mudding.
I'll delete that comment.
No, don't delete Ashley. Yeah, Ashley, I'm sure he'll be okay with that. He's got it locked down right now. He put his tarp down that you all know you've seen to keep the wind and sun off the back of his truck. And so that's a little bit of it's a little bit of an aggravation to get to. So he was just saying, oh, well, it might be windy while I'm gone. But I think it's really because he just wanted to deter me from driving it because it's got the good heat. But it's not really been that cold. And Joey says, Ashley Boyd, watch your cursing. And Allison said, hey to Ashley, and anybody who came to Plow Day, Ashley comes to our Plow Days. We love her and Thomas Henry. Nikki wants to know, now that Joey's gone, you could take his truck mudding tomorrow and do a video on how the new tires work in the mud. Yeah, no, I barely know how to work the four-wheel drive on it.
I'm going to clean it anyway.
Well, he'll never know. Yeah. Don't say that because he'll be stressing about it tomorrow and I'll get texts and stuff.
No, he knows I'd never do that.
He knows you wouldn't do that. Yeah. Jamie Lawson says your Challenger needs some hooker headers, cherry bomb mufflers with the cutout. It will still look stock.
Yeah, it won't sound stock after that.
And you can translate that because I don't know what any of that meant.
Yeah, he just means putting like an exhaust system on it all the way to the headers. And I hear a lot of Challengers with, their mid mufflers cut out, stuff like that, catback exhaust, whatever. All of those Challengers have a very specific tone to them when you do that. And to me, I don't know what it is about it. I don't like it. Don't ban me. Don't cancel me. But I'm just saying, it's not my type of muffler sound. The stock muffler sound I have on my Challenger, it's almost like if the muffler deletes are a bass note, mine is like a step up above that. And I like to relate it to a 2000s era NASCAR race car exhaust. They were much more high pitched than the ones before that. The ones before that had much lower pitch, but the ones in the 2000s had so much higher pitch to it when they go down the track. And I like that because I grew up hearing that. I grew up hearing that on TV and stuff. So when I hear a higher pitched V8 like that mine makes, on our video that we did when we first got my Challenger and Ellie's Charger, and we did some rev clips like that. Mine has a very, very good tone to it, and I just like that type of noise rather than what everybody else does, which is from the dealership to the muffler shop and go cut off some pipe like Ellie did. And so, that's just my feelings on the Challenger doing exhaust to it. I don't plan on doing any exhaust work to it. I like the way it sounds now. And who else to say?
Someone wants to know, what is the horsepower?
John Briggs. The horsepower is rated to 375 horsepower. But that can range and based on your RPMs and stuff. But I like to round it up to 400 because that sounds better and cooler. I only got 375. No, I got 400, and that's more dramatic to say. And then Double Portion Farm says, Will in the Challenger video, I don't usually drive that fast. And then
the next video, right? And Joey was banned from driving it too because when he took it on that road, and he got up to like.
That was Ellie's.
Oh, okay.
That was Michael.
Well, it would be your car next if you let him.
Right.
Yeah, Joey can't control driving fast cars either.
No, he didn't go fast. It was just loud.
No, but he got up to very fast in a short amount of time.
Well, it is a muscle car.
I know, that's what I mean. So
he accelerated fast.
But
there's a big difference.
All right.
There's a big difference.
We'll move on. Allison says he'll never know until you do the mudding review for YouTube.
Yeah. Hey guys, today we're gonna review how this 2500 get through the mud.
They're like, shh. I said, and Joey just got new tires on this thing too, so it should be great. We'll let you know.
And then I can get it stuck and pull it out with the tractor.
Yeah. And Ashley says Tasha looks as lost as me when it comes to the car stuff. I am. But because I get that face sometimes when Joey's talking about a tractor or something or another, and I'm just here and like I don't know much about it, but I'll pick up some stuff sometimes.
Yeah, we should have talked about the cars when Ellie was here. He would have liked it too.
Yeah.
He'd have been like, Mom, get up.
Yeah. I know y'all would have hijacked it completely. And y'all don't judge my dirty room, but Joey left something there in his haste to get out yesterday. I just noticed it. Seeing it.
Pants.
Yeah. Is that what those are? Joey's loser pants. If anybody wants to know what that means, you can email him and ask him. Let me know if you need to borrow my pressure washer. That's Paul. No. And Mark Moore says, I like headers with stock mufflers. And Joey Nell says, nothing sounds like a Mopar with the classic exhaust sound. And we have Farmwell Fanatic on. And he says, hey to Joey. And Stan says, my father would not let me buy an undependable car. I had to have a dependable car for work. That's why I had a second car at 18 for drag racing. It was all downhill from there. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. And John, yes. He says, so Joey has a heavy foot. Yes. Because he hasn't got a speeding ticket in a long time, but he's had them before. And he's had them, of course, when he was younger. And so has Elliot. So, but also that is sometimes just a boy thing. They just love the speed. I mean, it's just how it is.
And Stan, you mentioned drag racing and stuff. Having a Challenger, Dodge's main motorsport that they like to push on Challengers is drag racing. And I know I'm going against the grain again, but for me, I like drag racing and everything. It's cool to go fast in a straight line, but for me, I love racing when it's either road racing or oval racing. So I mentioned in my Challenger video about going through the back roads and the steering on it. The Challenger has, for a muscle car, and people love to brand muscle cars as boats and that they handle like boats, that they are not good at turning and everything. Those people don't know what they're talking about, because if you put on a base level of a Challenger from 1970 versus one today, it would run like laps around the old one based upon how well it handles. The upgrades and the way it's handled, and just, the sheer being able to turn faster than an older car. And the reason I'm saying all this is because when people label muscle cars as boats and stuff is because technology has advanced so much in cars, in race cars, that taking a turn at 170 miles per hour and not slipping a tire is so common that we've become almost like what's it called? Desensitized to the fact of how great a Challenger today can handle. So, you know, I just like to mention that about Challengers and the way they handle, because I found mine going through curves and stuff, I love doing that way more than going really, really fast. And so I just wanted to share that too, because, you know, I just like talking about what most people don't realize about them, the Challengers and stuff. What do you say? I won my first track championship on a road course around 60
or 61.
Oh,
Too expensive.
Yeah, it is expensive.
Drag racing is expensive, which Kaylee will know about that. Her family is into that. So, and Joe says, not if I'm driving the 71 model.
Oh.
What's 71?
He's talking about a 71 Challenger.
Oh, okay.
Like if he was driving a 71 Challenger, he wouldn't drive it fast.
Okay.
He'd be careful with it.
All right. Well, this Mac does not have a clock on it.
Yeah, it does.
Where at?
Where you? It's telling you.
No, that's not the time.
Oh, well, it's telling us how long we've been on.
Yeah, so I think it's getting a little bit late, guys and girls. I think we need to be cutting it off so Will can get on home and
yeah,
you know, we can get settled for the evening. So you guys continue to please pray for Joey and all the guys on the mission trip. Pray that they'll be safe around all that equipment and working and just being hot, and, you know, let them do the most good and make the biggest impact. And Will, do you have a verse? Can you think of one that you like off the top?
Yeah, I like
so we can end with our verse.
I like a very simple verse from Romans 12:21. It says, be not overcome with evil, but overcome evil with good. And that's probably my favorite verse in the Bible, because it's such a simple way of thinking and a way of life, because there's so many moments in the day where you can be overcome with evil. You can be aggravated by something. You can see something that makes you mad, and you can, you know, you can fall to the wayside very quickly, but you can overcome evil with good, which is through Jesus Christ and his love and his redemption and his salvation. And that's what you have when you ask him into your heart. And so I'd like to leave that with you guys.
Thank you, Will. And it's been a pleasure having my firstborn do the live with me.
We'll do it again sometime.
He has saved me tonight, because I couldn't do it by myself, because we would have to talk about something you all have never heard of that I would know something about, but it's not cars or tractors. But, you know, maybe we could just talk about gardening. So, all right. So we thank you all for being on tonight, and hopefully you will hear from me or Will next week, or from Joey. Hopefully he could do a live at whatever location he's at. But if you need anything, of course, you can email him. He does have service, and he may not be able to respond to text or emails till late in the evening. So we appreciate you all watching. Good night.